Welcome to this tutorial. So you have some data like this. So I'm just going to give the cells as an example here with some areas, geographical area, but it could be anything. It could be a team, it could be a report, it could be anything. And here you would have, for instance, months as well on the side. So I'm just going to drag this just to show you that it's going to be 12 months here. So I just want to show you 3 ways to provide some data on this. So this is just the original data. And under here, I've just created some cumulative data. Cumulative data means as you progress in a month, I've been just adding numbers on top of each other. So if you don't know how to do it, you just do a cumulative data and you add the month on top of the cell that was before. So the first way to create a chart, I'm going to call it chart, although technically it's not chart, it's a sparkline. It's actually a sparkline. So you just select the data, you're going to insert, and you select under the sparklines here, you select columns. And here's going to ask you a question because it's a difference with the charts. For charts, they just put it on the screen somewhere or in a new tab, but here they want you to you to tell them in which cell this will be generated, because you've only selected the data. So the data range, got it, but location range, you just need to find a cell to locate it. And I just press on this one here. Now I've noticed I've just put some, obviously some white rows here. I didn't want to be too squishy. And I'm just going to drag that all the way around just to show you that it needs some work. There's actually something I wanted to do. I wanted to give it a dark background. I'm just going to give a dark background to those cells. I'm going to put the very deep blue here and the standard colors at the back. Now you can try your luck, and actually it works for this. It doesn't always work for me, but for the color scheme, you need to try and get some from here to start with. And I thought this one was not bad as a starting point. But then you can come into the spark color menu and you can change some things here. So here, for instance, market colors, I just want to put the negative points. I want just them to be more in red. So I'm taking a pale red here. Now that I've put the cell in a dark background, is actually suggesting it to me as well. So it's putting even a lighter red. Now you can do as well is put the high point in a deep green, if you want to, like there's in this case here, there's several high points, they're all the same. And you can put the low point, this is not very good, the low point here, some very harsh red, so that might be a little bit too harsh. And you can put maybe the one that I had to start with. Now it's all over the place. Let's fix this. So what you can do is you go under the axis menu here and you select same for all sparkline for the vertical axis, minimum, and for the maximum. So this way we are all singing from the same songbook. I think this is how the expression goes. To make it a bit clearer, what you can do is you can put a white, more borders, a white border. You select white, and obviously you put white all over the place here. So that's the first go. So if you're really keen, if you really want to highlight the first one and the last one, you can do this. But I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I'm just actually going to remove it. So this is the first thing. The second thing is same principle. I've created another cell here. It is a sparkline as well. But just to give you a bit of variety, I'm just going to use the cumulative data that I've created under the second table here. So I'm just going to take the first one here. I'm just going to start from scratch. It could be lazy, but I'm just going to do it again. So in case you missed it the first time, insert sparklines, and this time I'm going to take lines. I'm going to select lines. So the data range is this one. Location range, I'm going to take this here. And you cannot see much. I was going to say, as you can see, but the truth is you cannot see much. So same for this one. You can just select, define this, if there's something that you like here. I'm going to drag it all the way across. And that's it. So you can play around with this here. You can see the sparkline color. You can change it here. You might want to put something a bit lighter here, or completely white, actually, if you like. And then the market color, you want to put some types of marker. It'll be nice, maybe green, whatever. So something that you want to have, but you could have a negative point in red as well, in this type of red. So that tells you when you're below 0 on this, bearing in mind that for this, it's actually the cumulative value. So you could have argued that, yes, you wanted a column instead, so you would have that to see how you're going, or you could have just, this is just positive or negative. But hopefully it's going to give us back this one. So this is the second way to do it. And if you put, as usual, the borders, it always looks a tiny bit better. White, outline, and inside. Done. Now let's go for the chart. The chart is also another way. So I'm just not going to put any legend. I'm just going to select the old data here. And I'm going to go under the Insert Recommended Chart, All Chart, just to show you where you can find this. So there are many ways that you can have a look at this. You can put all the months this way. That's something that you know, but I just wanted to show you something very similar to the first one, and just put, sorry, going back to all charts here, in a stacked column here, the clustered column, the way we had it. So I'm just going back here. Now you've noticed that it looks different, and that's because you've done it the other way around. You've put the months here, 1 to 12, and then it's put the number value here on the left-hand side. So what you want instead is the areas here. So it's just a matter of right-clicking on the chart, unless you want a month, obviously, select data, and you switch row to columns, and you would have something very similar to this one here. So once again, I'm going to select a very dark background here. I'm still telling the very dark here. I just wanted to highlight to you that you can get something very similar with chart and with spark lines. We can have a quick look at pros and cons when we're finished, if you like. So just going to drag this here. This is a bit too busy, but I think I wouldn't mind having some vertical axis just to make it really similar to this one. And actually, before I do this, before I worry about axis, I'm just going to change the format to have something a little bit, and it's not often that it works, but in this case, I found something very fancy in this color here. You go under the chart design, you select one of the pre-design. I like this one, with the exception of the background here, that I can put it this way. So if you don't like the glow, there is a glow effect here. For each one, you can go and shape select glow, and you can remove the glow. So it depends how it looks on your computer. I think for this one, I think it doesn't look too bad here for me. I'm removing all the chart titles and the likes. Oops, just the title band, not the full chart. There you go. So here I can click on a vertical grid line, and I will be putting this in white. So just to show you, this is very similar than the other one. If you, like for instance, this one, it's a bit too deep. So if you want to change the shape outline, you can put something more obvious, I suppose. It's up to you. Now, there is just two things I would like to mention now, is that, you know, the first is the pros and cons. This fit in cell, and that has its pros and cons, I suppose. The good thing is you can easily move it around. You know that the shape won't change, that the size won't change. What I find a bit frustrating with charts is sometimes they just go all over the place. Obviously, you can right click and say, well, I don't properties, format chart area here. You can go under properties here and select, move but don't size with cell. For instance, if I put don't move or size with cells, when I increase this, this chart doesn't change. So that's something that you can do if you get frustrated with the things going all over the place, the chart going all over the place. Before we go, that's just a last thing that if you want to present that to the business and you won't have the data as well, instead of just putting the two a bit awkwardly on the same document, is you can go under the chart design and you can put add chart element here, and you can select data table, and you put with legend keys or no legend keys. So obviously you'll notice it all goes a bit squashed, but if you put it this way, that will be much better. And here, once you have this, obviously, you can do all the usual formatting, shape outline. You can put everything in white, or actually I would put it in a light gray maybe, so it's a bit more subtle. And here you go. So you can have, do all this. You can make sure that it aligns. Actually, before we go, sometime I'm being asked, Ben, where do you get this data? So this is a pure random data. You can ask ChatGPT or Gemini to generate it for you. That's not a problem. They should be able to. What I like to do is just to format that. So you put the same background here. You put the font in white. Here you put a bit of a, don't want to say complementary color because I don't know if it's exactly the case here. Actually, I just want to make sure that I select just the first one. I put a bit of a brownish here with a white font in bold. And then I can select this also and maybe apply the painting on this. And the other one doesn't really need to be looked at. But this is for the formatting part of the table. Okay, so this is just for a quick tutorial on how to build those.